What is up, everybody? Welcome to the transparency. Want to talk about it? I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. This is getting interesting because, welcome. We said it here at the beginning where we thought that everybody was dressing the same. Well, I want to point out that, again, good evening. Welcome. Right here on Wednesday, the gunman left the hostel at 5:30 a.m. and likely rode a bicycle toward Midtown. Okay, this was just updated recently. Chief Kenny said, though investigators do not have video of him taking the bike to the scene of the shooting. They are speculating that he did because it took him only 10 minutes to get from the hostel on 103rd Street to West 54th Street. The police are still, quote unquote, still looking into the possibility that he could have stolen the bike. At 5:41 a.m., he arrived at the Hilton and began wandering the area near the hotel. And this is where I say, boom, daddy. How could this be the case, but yet somebody is walking up out of the subway station and claiming that to be him? So here it is. Everyone's saying that can't be. Oh, yes, it sure can be. It's you guys. There's multiple people that were wearing this outfit. Okay, so this is what it is, man. So again, at 5:41 a.m., he arrived at the Hilton, began wandering the area. This is exactly what the black man said. Well, he said he was there all night. I even think he was there earlier than 5:41 a.m., but we'll see. If he was there at 5:41 a.m., he could not be the one coming out of the subway station at 57th. So, damn. He fatally shot Mr. Thompson at 6:44 a.m. He then got back on the bike after he ran a little bit and made it into Central Park 4 minutes later. He left the park at 6:56 a.m. still on the bike. So then these are the notes as well. So we have 6:44 were the shots. Then at 6:48, he's at 60th Street. 6:56, he's at 77th Street. 6:58, 86th and Columbus, walking because he is about to get in a taxi cab at 7:04, and he goes straight to the station, which is at 178th, and that's 178th Street and Broadway, which is where the interstate buses are. And once he goes in at 7:30, he goes to the Port Authority Depot in Upper Manhattan, and he never comes back out. So, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be super interesting how this plays out. Now they found the backpack finally here on Friday night as the lights were dimming. The night sky here, the trees were starting to light up. New York City is going to be lighting up, flickering lights. They were able to come across 65th Street and the Transverse Bridge right by Center Drive. I'm going to show you some actual live camera footage from where this is at right now. Let's see if we can pull it up. Again, good evening. Good evening. You guys, he's been long gone from NYC, baby. Long gone. They are saying he took a bus out of NYC and that he was gone. Basically, he went in at 7:30 and he never came back out. No video has him coming back out. So let's look at something. They sent everything to the lab in Queens. You guys, a message to United Healthcare Group employees. This is how bad they lie. Andrew Whitty, the CEO of United Health Group, the parent company of United Healthcare, addressed employees in an internal video message Thursday, advising them to take care of themselves and letting them know that there are resources available to them in the wake of Thompson's death. Blah! That's not what he was saying. We all saw the video earlier. Whitty acknowledged that employees are nervous around security and staff and detailed heightened security measures the company is implementing at its facilities nationwide, including security checks before people enter campuses. So the backpack 2 hours ago was removed by an excavator as investigators carefully sift through evidence, but they refused to open the backpack. They left it completely sealed, and they are taking it straight to the lab. So investigators were treating the backpack found in New York City Central Park like a dead body, being very careful not to damage any potential evidence. And that's what a law enforcement official told CNN. Take it for what it's worth. The backpack was removed by, an excavator along with any physical material found surrounding it. No officers picked it up to preserve potential DNA evidence tied it to the backpack or even the dirt on the ground surrounding it. You guys, if we can start getting DNA off of dirt, okay? All right. Forensic investigators at a police lab in Queens will go through the contents of the bag slowly and deliberately and should have everything out of it by tomorrow. They will examine not only the contents of the bag, but the bag itself, which may have sweat or other evidence of the shooter, the source said. You guys, I know. LMAO, DNA for the dirt. You guys, they might be getting that DNA off that dirt, that mixture particles right there. Let's see. While this is happening, investigators are still searching for the suspect's name. So we're going to make this very clear. Remember, I asked you guys earlier if you guys thought that they knew the name of the suspect. They do not know his or her name. So I said that I didn't think that they knew who it was. Ding, 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 bell time. So while this is happening, investigators are still searching for the suspect's name. They believe he traveled to the city by bus and are in the process of ruling out a tip that the shooter left by plane. So there's a tip came in that the shooter left by plane. Interesting. Police have different leads and are currently going through them all. So please do not call in your ridiculous fucking tips, okay? So, in addition to video canvassing, they're requesting they want all the buses to turn over anybody that would have been on any of the buses to see if anything could be identified. They have also reached out to the security team of United Healthcare to get their compiled person of interest list. Okay. So they have also reached out to the security team of United Healthcare to get their compiled person of interest list, looking for people that have been publicly vocal with complaints against the company. Get the fuck up out of here. Oh, shit. Oh, hell no. Okay, guys. Let's compile that list. Yep, here you go. There's 10 million Americans. Here you go. And we're offering people 10 grand. 10 grand if you can find him. You guys. Unbelievable. Again, good evening. Anybody that's made threats either on social media, maybe they got to get those comment sections going again. All these social media platforms, and they're not leading their comment section up because of the hate. I mean, maybe they could catch something if they did. Where's Papa Rogers? Papa Rogers, come on out. Do they know what bus he got on? They don't know dick, you guys. I'm telling you, multiple people were wearing this clothing. We're gonna talk about this. Definitely runs deep, and I want to talk about the backpack. We're gonna talk about the backpack. Now I don't even know what to think about this figure coming up out of the subway. From down underneath. If there's footage of this man at 5:41 a.m. at the Hilton, yeah. Something else I want to talk about before we go over the backpack. Let's talk about, so this is the alleged backpack. We'll go ahead and go like this. Let's pull up this backpack. Here she is. This is in this wooded area. Ooh. Oh boy. What a pretty backpack. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Who would leave the backpack? I don't know, guys. Let's talk about something else, though. I think you guys would be interested to hear this. Okay. So the police on Friday offered a nearly minute-by-minute timeline of a gunman's movements before and after he fatally shot Brian Thompson. Something that I think is interesting is when he arrived in New York, allegedly, this is what they're saying. They're saying that he went to the Hilton first and then checked in at the hostel. Okay? So Joseph Kenny, the chief detective, said that investigators are looking into the possibility that the gunman used I can't even believe, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to repeat that. That's such fucking bullshit. Kenny said investigators, so 3 hours ago, Kenny said investigators are talking to Brian Thompson's family, his colleagues, and Minnesota law enforcement, but nothing so far in this investigation at this time indicates that this had anything to do with his personal life. You guys remember when you take a picture of something, like just so you know, like the lighting, the flash can make it, seem a different color. So just take that into consideration. So just so you know, this company, 140,000 people. And if they think this is a disgruntled employee, we have 140,000 people. Let's start getting to it. They literally stepped over his body to start the investor meeting on time. Okay. So, Joseph Kenny, the chief of detectives, gave specific times where cameras caught the gunman's movements after the shooting. So the shooting took place at 6:44 a.m., obviously on Wednesday. He fled, remember, first on foot, then on a bike, and pedaled into Central Park at 60th Street at 6:48 a.m. I mean, he was booking. It took him 4 minutes to be seen on the Central Park camera at 60th Street. At 6:56 a.m., okay, so roughly 8 minutes later, he left the park, still on the bicycle at 77th Street on the Upper West Side. So he was like zigzagging around, Okay. Surveillance footage then showed him near 86th Street and Columbus Avenue, again, still on a bicycle. 2 minutes later, which would be so 7:02. Around 7 a.m., he actually got into a cab, which was at 7:04 to be specific, and it took him to the station in Upper Manhattan, used by interstate buses. Surveillance footage shows him going in, but not coming out, Kenny said. I mean, unless he was totally disguised. I mean, I don't know. Again, the suspect got in that taxi cab at 7:04 a.m. on 86th Street and Amsterdam Avenue, going north. So Joseph Kenny said by 7:30 a.m. he had made it to the Port Authority bus depot in Upper Manhattan. And then, so that's their timeline of basically, I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. They took him to 178th Street when he got in that taxi. So he was in that taxi for 28 minutes, 26 minutes. This was strategically set up well in advance to ensure the shooter will never be found. I agree. I don't believe that this killer is ever being found. So I don't believe the shooter is ever going to be found. So now let's now remember, the police officer says, "Hey, we found you guys." Remember, they used a drone. I think it's interesting that they didn't find this until Friday. I mean, they would have been looking Wednesday, Thursday. They found it Friday before it gets, party on. What else? Okay, here we go. This is funny to me. It was not clear. All right, so video surveillance in Central Park showed the man believed to be the shooter leaving the west side of the park without his backpack. According to law enforcement officials, officers searched the park for the backpack on Thursday, but this was back then. So far, they have not been able to find it. December 6th, they let everybody know that the detectives in this case said that we have recovered DNA evidence, and it was taken to the lab at the office of the chief medical examiners for testing, according to a person that was briefed in the matter. This was back on the 6th. So now, let's see. I would like to. That's interesting to me. Now, guys, this gun that they thought was in and from Connecticut, you guys, just so you know, this person was cleared. They tracked down this gun, this Connecticut gun, and I just want everybody to know the Connecticut guy is cleared. So CT guy ties to the gun. He was cleared. I want everybody to know about that, okay? I mean, this is how off and far and just bullshit. Nothing but bullshit. The guys, they've been feeding us nothing but absolute bullshit. Well, not here though. We've been sifting through the bullshit, but they sat down. Hold on. They did a little sit down, so I was trying to find that. $10,000.
Or the victim rather, and
Jimmy, let me start with you. With what you're seeing now, how does it fill out the picture of who this is and what he's about?
Chris, I think every single day the detectives in New York City are doing a great job of releasing more and more details. And why are they doing this? It's crowdsourcing. The bad thing about this is that the aperture.
Look at this is way better footage here. Look at right. Look at the shooting.
Chris, I think every single day the detectives in New York City are doing a great job of releasing more and more details. And why are they doing this? It's crowdsourcing. The bad thing about this is that the aperture has expanded. Instead of now just believing he's on the island of Manhattan, which is about 13 miles long and 2 miles wide, we believe that he got onto a bus, an interstate bus, and could be anywhere in the United States. Now, via crowdsourcing with the additional details, the vanity effect, the fact that he pulled the mask down inside the hostel, and we have a good photo of him to share that. I'm pretty certain by now the FBI is involved, especially with the interstate travel on this. But Chris, there is an abundance.
I'm starting to think that he shot twice, and then the reason he was doing what he was doing is to let out those 3 shell casings, or not casings, but live rounds. Anybody else notice that? This is a clown show. Yep. I mean, wouldn't you just say the first thing I would say is, you guys, this is total. I mean, how you cannot say that this was not ridiculously planned with intel and this was a hit. Okay. I would say that I would say this is a hit. This is planned. I mean, listen, but nobody wants to say this. Nobody wants to say this.
A veritable plethora of different things that have been harvested. You mentioned
late. Now that I see that different camera angle, the downward angle, I think he shot twice. He chucked out 3, shot another one, and went on his way.
Fingerprints, DNA. DNA is probative evidence. There are a lot of
you guys, DNA only matters if you can match it. If this guy's not in the system, okay, great. I mean, as long as he never gets in trouble, I mean, you're just going to have DNA. I can't wait till they say that they got this IgG hit, in a couple days from now.
Of things that they can be chasing down right now. But again, the crisis site, the individual that you're on the manhunt on, that is expanded now across all 50 states and beyond.
Jimmy, I don't understand this, but my producer was telling me that there's reporting that his weapon may have been a veterinary gun. I've never heard of that before. You didn't shoot the guy with darts. Is there such a thing?
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with that, Chris. I mean, obviously the size of it, somebody could probably mistaken that for a tranquilizer gun or a dart gun that you see, on the Serengeti in Africa when they're trying to bring an elephant down to work on him. No,
what?
this thing had bullets in it, and the CEO was hit by bullets, so it was absolutely a firearm.
Hey, Doc, let me ask you something. How do you analyze the idea of whether or not this is someone who has repeat offense motives?
Well, one of the ways that you would do that, of course, is you need to find out who this person is. But you also look at the pattern of behavior. You look at
there you go. She said, well, first of all, you just need to find out who this guy is, and then you can find out about his patterns. You know, maybe you could identify him and then we would know about his pattern. I mean, yeah, guys.
They did. You look at the way that they approached the crime scene, the way that they approached the suspect, or the victim rather, and then you find out if there are any other similarities, perhaps in something like VICAP.
You guys, police have 200 plus photos of suspect, all in a mask. Or do they have 200 photos of multiple people? You guys, he was at the Hilton at 5:41 a.m. 5:41 a.m. He left his lovely hostel at 5:30, never to return again.
A universal database that compares crime similarities across the nation. And if there are clues, then that's where you might find them.
Zeke, finding this guy, what do you see from the movements and pluses and minuses of his modus operandi that makes it easier or harder to catch him?
This is a very well-planned assassination. I personally
There you
believe
go.
that the individual had training, his mannerisms, he was cool and collective. He came
Thank
into
you.
the city very stealthy. He left very stealthy with a plan. You could tell the way he handled his weapon, even as it malfunctioned, he was able to continue. I don't believe this is his first rodeo, whether or not he
Thank
was
you.
brought in to handle this or whether it's a grudge assassination, excuse me, that's yet to be seen, but we don't want to speculate. We want to investigate. And as all the data starts coming in, the U.S. Marshals are heavily involved in the case, which is a major plus. I think it's going to unfold. And as the days go on, we're going to know more and more about the shooter and his whereabouts.
But do you think right now, when you're trying to figure out where he went from that Port Authority and you look at the bus lines, are you looking for ones that were headed to where there are other major commercial headquarters?
I think right now it's up in the air. I really do. We can't speculate. We have to wait for positive data. You could be chasing a red herring and go in the completely wrong direction. I think the Marshal Service and law enforcement has it under control. They've made great progress in a short amount of time. This is going to be a lengthy investigation. I don't think we're going to see anything happen relatively quick as far as an arrest. I do believe there will be an arrest, but law enforcement is going to have to go through a lot of data and figure it out.
Jimmy, do you agree with Zeke that from what he's seen, some of which is not public yet, that sure, this could be social justice warrior or aggrieved person, also could be someone who is hired to do this, which Zeke believes is becoming more of a suggestion?
Absolutely. So, the way it works in investigations, Chris, to Zeke's point, you follow the evidence bereft of fear or favor. You go.
Okay, then you should probably start looking at his cell phone, the victim's cell phone. Okay. So how about this? Something that's crazy interesting. The gunman allegedly went to the Hilton first. Very interesting. Then he went and checked into his hostel. Very interesting. Now let's talk about this hit, if it was a hit. I will tell you this. United, the last thing that they would want to do is draw any attention to what the hell has been going on, which has been wild shit. I mean, we got, the DOJ's been trying to stop the acquisition of United Health Group Incorporated. They tried to stop him in 2022 with Change Healthcare. That wasn't stopped. Then now they want to get, they basically want their Baton Rouge main competitor they want this merger. And what it showed me is that someone that was actually looking at this from a standpoint of like, okay, if one of these guys wanted to take him out so that he doesn't talk and doesn't say anything or doesn't whistle blow or anything like that. I mean, this just literally put like, I don't know, a big highlighter across our healthcare crisis for me, to the point of you wouldn't want to draw this type of attention, I wouldn't think. But maybe somebody didn't think it out that way, or maybe they're just like, it's dumb American, so no one's gonna even think about that. I want your guys' thoughts on that, because this brought way too many, like, this is, I mean, the judge who decided that the DOJ didn't bring it and that the United group here could go ahead and buy change was the Nichols, who was the same judge in the January 6th Capitol shit. And then he's also the head judge that oversees the United States' foreign surveillance shit. So I put that out there as a community post because I wanted people to know. So I'm not an American, and I can't believe you guys don't have universal health care. Well, I mean, this is straight, what this company has been doing is straight fucking anti-competition. I mean, it's so unconstitutional, it's not even funny. I mean, they're just fucking us. Like, this is what this has showed me. Yep, they 100% think that we're stupid. I mean, this murder has literally shown me you can like lay it all out, and holy shit. Like, people my age, like, whoa. All I have to say is, you guys, this was to wake up the citizens. If you truly look at what the hell's going on with, you guys talk about healthcare being completely unaffordable. You guys play the game Monopoly, and what's the name of the game is to go around, get all the properties so you own everything. Okay. And what they're doing with our healthcare, these fucking insurance companies, they're buying and they're merging these corporations, and it's taking out why there's going to be no, fuck, you thought it was unaffordable right now. I mean, they're just doing whatever they want. There's no competition. And the stuff that's interesting is to take out the hospice stuff with this 2024. They want to buy the Biloxi. It's in Louisiana. What is it? Am something or other. It's their biggest competitor. They just bought for $13 billion in 2022. Well, it was finalized a little bit after that, but I mean, this is wild shit. This is crazy. But the complaint for the violations of the federal securities laws, which is the ECF case, that's the United Healthcare Group, specifically Andrew Whitty, Stephen Hemsley, and Brian Thompson, defendants in. And this is some crazy shit. The securities fraud class action is brought on behalf of all persons or entities that purchased shares of United Health's common stock between March 14th, 2022 and February 27th, 2024. The claims asserted herein are alleged against United Health and certain of the company's senior executives. And those are the three people's names I just said, which are Whitty, the guy that was just murdered here, Brian Thompson, and who was the other guy? They list his ass. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, Andrew Whitty, Stephen Hemsley, and Brian Thompson. We're talking quick. Like, this is crazy. But in response to the January 6th announcement, hold on. Okay, here we go. So on January 6, 2021, United Health announced an agreement to acquire Change Healthcare and integrate it into its existing Optimum business. Change is a healthcare technology company that provides data solutions aimed at improving clinical decision-making and simplifying payment processing across the healthcare system. Change provides the market-leading product in claims editing and also operated the largest EDI clearinghouse in the United States. As a result, Change has access to a significant amount of customer-sensitive information, which is better known as CSI, and claims data. So in addition, some of Change's customers grant secondary use rights to this data, giving Change the right to use the data for purposes beyond providing EDI clearinghouse service. So what ended up happening is that United Health Group bought for $13 billion. So in response to the January 6th announcement, on February 24, 2022, the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ, filed a lawsuit challenging United Health's acquisition of Change. The DOJ alleged that the proposed acquisition would violate antitrust laws because the integration of Change and Optimum would give United Health unparalleled access to information. So here's the DOJ just like fucking like working for us, we the people. You cannot do this. You cannot do this because you're going to fuck the Americans. Okay, we the people. So the DOJ steps in and they are like, you know, we're going to stop this. We're going to try to stop this. And it was antitrust laws because the integration of Change and Optimum would give United Health unparalleled access to information regarding nearly every health insurer, as well as health data on every single American. United Health assured the DOJ, investors, and customers that Optimum would, quote unquote, maintain robust firewall processes to prevent CSI from being shared between Optimum and United Healthcare. In May of 2022, prior to the start of the antitrust trial, United Health created a new firewall policy for Optimum and United Healthcare, which addressed the sharing of CSI following the acquisition. This firewall policy was issued to specifically address the Change acquisition and designed to keep Optimum and United Healthcare data separate post-merger. In September of 2022, the DOJ tried its antitrust lawsuit against United Health in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. The court in the antitrust action ultimately permitted the acquisition, repeatedly crediting United Health's firewall policy and commitment to preventing the sharing of data between United Healthcare and Optimum as the rationale for allowing the deal to proceed. In the decision, the court explained that United Health has maintained a corporate antitrust firewall that expressly prohibits the sharing of CSI between business units, and found that the quote-unquote widespread use of firewalls in the industry, United Health's history of compliance with its own firewalls, the customer contracts, and convincing testimony from senior executives, about United Health's practices and incentive weighs strongly against the government's position. The truth emerged on February 27th, 2024. So then 2 years later, okay? So United Health gets this company Change. And now 2 years later, on February 27, 2024, when the Wall Street Journal reported, this is when they said the truth emerged on February 27, 2024, when the Wall Street Journal reported that the DOJ had reopened its antitrust investigation into United Health. In that article, the public learned for the first time that the DOJ was investigating the relationships between the company's various segments, including Optimum, as a result of this disclosure. the price of United Health stock declined by $27 per share, erasing nearly $25 billion in shareholder value. So, what did they just have a meeting about? Investors meeting, right? United Health was aware, though, of the DOJ investigation since at least October, though, of 2023. Remember, we broke down this graph. So instead of disclosing this material investigation to investors or the public, United Health insiders sold more than 120 million of their personally held United Health shares. In the 4 months between learning about the DOJ investigation and the investigation becoming public, United Health's chairman, Stephen Hemsley, sold over 102 million out of the 120 that he personally held United Health shares. And Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, sold over 15 million of his personally held United Health shares. Now, again, the parties in this case, defendant United Health is an American multinational health insurance and service company based in Minnesota. The company's common stock trades on the NYSE under ticker symbol UNH. As of April 30th, 2024, United Health had over 920 million shares of common stock outstanding, owed by hundreds or thousands of investors. Damn, oh my God. There you go. So this is what I think this is all about, you guys. This is all about bringing us, this is all about bringing our health crisis to the forefront, man. This is about saying, like, hello. Like, does anybody know what the heck is going on around here? Because I can't imagine, okay? But hey, maybe I'm wrong that these idiots would take him out, even if he was going to whistleblow, because, you know, there's that, maybe that small chance. Or if anything, maybe do it in Minnesota or something. But on a stage of this magnitude, you know, NYC, you know, this was ridiculous. So damn. So your personal defendants here are defendant Andrew Whitty. He was at all relevant times the chief executive officer of United Health. And then defendant Stephen Hemsley, he is and was at all relevant times the chairman of the company's board of directors. Remember, they made that special position for him. And the defendant Brian Thompson is and was at all relevant times the chief executive officer of United Health's insurance segment. So Whitty is the chief executive officer of United Health, and Brian Thompson is the chief executive officer of United Health's, you know, insurance segment, United Health Care. Defendants Whitty, Hemsley, and Thompson are collectively referred to herein as the individual defendants. The individual defendants, now think about the word depose. The individual defendants, because of their positions with United Health, possess the power and authority to control the contents of the company's reports to the SEC, press releases, and presentations to securities analysis, money and portfolio managers, and institutional investors. Each of the individual defendants was provided with copies of the company's reports and press releases alleged herein to be misleading prior to or shortly after their insurance, and had the ability and opportunity to prevent their issuance, and to prevent their issuance or cause them to be corrected, and they never did. They knew about stuff and they misled in press releases, they misled in reports. So because of their positions and access to material non-public information available to them, each of the individual defendants knew that the adverse facts specified herein had not been disclosed to and were being concealed from the public, and that the positive representations which were being made were then materially false and or misleading. Ready? Oh, defendants' materially false and misleading statements caused substantial losses to investors. Remember what this meeting was all about. Investors meeting, okay? This is where he was headed. This is absolute craziness. They want to talk about some disgruntled patient, okay? Okay, this is these greedy fucking pigs, okay? The DOJ has been trying to help us, okay, in stopping this crap. And basically this murder has literally highlighted what truly has been going on for those that are not paying any attention. And I put myself in that category. I'm like, damn. I'm like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? Like, this is some deep ass, nasty ass shit. And I want to know what fucking judge didn't stop the merger with Change. Oh, and then I found out who it is. It's none other than Mr. fucking what is it? Nichols. Go look up him. And then what's crazy is he's the judge that oversees the United States' foreign surveillance shit. And here we're in New York with the murder, and we got all this surveillance in the world, right? And this motherfucker's gone for days. It's a wake-up call. Like, hello, come on, pay attention to what's happening. This is like, wow. Finally, insurance companies are being exposed. Well, yeah, depending on who you watch. Okay, depending on who you watch. Because the idiots, the propaganda bullshits out there are still over here talking about that the wife could be involved. Are you stupid? The wife has million. I mean, that woman doesn't even need his money. Okay. So, but so the class period begins on March 14th, 2022. The first trading day after United Health filed its answer to the allegations in the complaint filed by the DOJ in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. In response to the DOJ's concerns, United Health publicly, quote unquote, agreed to make binding commitments to its customers and the government to, quote unquote, maintain its robust firewall processes and extend them to Change's business to protect sensitive customer data and provide information to customers to allow them to verify those firewall processes. A March 17th, so 3 days later, a March 17th, 2022 document titled Benefits of Combination with Change Healthcare that was posted on the company's website addressed the DOJ's lawsuit and stated that Optimum will maintain robust firewall processes and extend them to Change Healthcare's business. Again, to protect blah, blah, blah. Well, on April 5th, 2022, United Health filed a press release with the SEC on Form 8-K. In the press release, United Health stated the DOJ lawsuit challenging the Change acquisition was meritless. Then in May of 2022, United Health adopted a new firewall policy relating to the proposed acquisition of Change. The policy explicitly addressed the sharing of customers, CSI, between Optum and United Health and stated everything that they said they would not do. They're just openly fucking doing it right in front of our faces. On November 29, 2022, United Health held its annual investor conference, materials for which were publicly released the prior day on November 28th. The conference book highlighted the company's long-established firewalls and strong legal, reputable, ethical, and financial incentives to protect patient and customer information. On June 1st, then, almost a year later, 2023, defendant Whitty responded United Health at the Bernstein Strategy Decision Conference. That during the conference, defendant Whitty acknowledged that the company's firewall requirements, noting that United Health was forced on improving performance by exploiting the core synergy between Optum and United Healthcare as much as we possibly can appropriately, of course, given the firewall requirements that are needed here. So throughout that class period, United Health Code of Conduct also stated that the Optum's provider business contract with competitors of United Healthcare and may receive competitively sensitive information which must be protected. The statements set forth above in 18 through 26 were materially false and misleading. So everything I just read. In truth, United Health never established proper firewalls between Optum and United Healthcare. Somebody whistle blew. Somebody totally whistle blew. I think somebody was deposed. Remember, delay, deny, defend, but then this one was delay, deny, depose. If it comes out that Brian Thompson had a deposition, I will seriously fall over. But yeah, those statements are all false. I just read. In truth, United Health never established proper firewalls between Optum and United Healthcare as required by its own policy. And as it told the court in the antitrust action, the DOJ and investors, it would do that. Firewalls were never properly created for certain business applications, despite assurances to the contrary. There was never a meaningful technological separation between Optimum and United Healthcare that prevented the sharing of CSI. The truth emerges. On February 27, 2024, the Wall Street Journal reported that the DOJ had reopened its antitrust investigation into United Health. In that article, the public learned for the first time that the DOJ was investigating the relationships between the company's various segments, including Optimum. As a result of these disclosures, the price of United Health stock declined by $27 per share. As a result of defendants' wrongful acts and omissions, the market value of the company's securities, plaintiff and other class members have suffered significant losses and damages. Jesus. I mean, how pissed would you be if you're one of these main investors, right? And those three cocksuckers go and just know all this shit, don't disclose it, do their own thing, and then you find out about it. All these lobbyists, motherfuckers, fuck you. Lion ass, greedy motherfuckers, man. Damn. This is sick. Our healthcare system is the laughingstock of the world, just saying. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. My throat's feeling it. Lana, your coverage on this has been the best. Thank you. You guys, this murder right here. This wasn't some disgruntled patient, okay, that their dad or mom didn't get coverage, or a dad that did this because their kid didn't get coverage. This was you guys don't even want to know what I think this is. I just can tell you this. If United Healthcare Group was involved in this hit, okay, then they knew that they would be able to spin and have all these channels out here not ever reporting it that way, okay? Because you're going to expose the fuck out of yourselves in what you've been doing with this, with his murder. And so everybody wants to run around talking about that this was a lone gunman and he just did all this by himself, and get out of here. Okay, that's not what happened. That's not what happened here. This is not some dad. Okay. That was a killer. That was a hit. But a hit that exposed, like, if it came from somebody that's trying to keep him quiet from whistleblowing, okay, you know, this would not be the way to do it. Because they have everybody that's going to dig. And then that's what I just did. And I looked at all this stuff and I'm like, holy shit. Because I want to know how United Health was even able to buy Change. Get the fuck out of here. That should have never happened. I mean, basically this murder just helped all of America that gives a shit about their healthcare. There, I said it. Like, this is crazy. I mean, this just put the biggest spotlight on what the hell is going on. So it's because you can't look at it like think about this. If you're Hemsley, did this just totally blow up in your face? Like, did you not think about what was going to happen? Like, would Hemsley and Whitty want to, would they be involved in something like this? Because you can't do this. It's gonna, do they think that, oh, don't worry, we'll make it look like it was a disgruntled patient? There's just no way. Oh, this isn't a rabbit hole for me. It's just, it's not a rabbit hole at all. It's just exposing all of since 2022, and actually like even a little bit before that, it's just exposing these lawsuits. And the latest one that got denied, and here you're about to have another one, and these can't get denied. Like, this is monopoly. Like, they're monopolizing. And what it's going to do is it's going to give us paying out the ass like we already are, but it's going to be for our nurses and I mean, it's just going to be horrible. I mean, reading about the hospice stuff really makes me sick. But so this was like for it to be a hit to keep him from talking. No, I don't. This was actually to I'll put it in a community post so elegantly, okay? I bet, Kelly. I bet. And if I was on this board, not the board, but if I was like, who else isn't getting hit off? I mean, I don't know, man. So, during the class period, as detailed herein, defendants made material false and misleading statements and omissions and engaged in a scheme to deceive the market. Okay. This artificially inflated, everything that they did artificially inflated the price of United Health's common stock and operated as a fraud or deceit on the class. Later, when it was disclosed to the market that an antitrust investigation was again launched against defendants, the price of United Health stock fell as the prior artificial inflation came out of the price over time. As a result of their purchases of United Health stock during the class period, plaintiff and other members of the class suffered economic loss damages under the federal securities laws. I want to know what on the back end, the acquisition rather, what did the people at Change that sold? I mean, 13 billion, but I'm telling you, there's stuff on the back end with that. There's no fucking way. I can't believe that judge. I mean, how did that happen? This is ridiculous. There's just no way that 3 people are the only people that made money yet. Like, you guys. I hope this will fuel a big change. Everyone deserves a quality healthcare rich report. 100. The other thing that's interesting is, so this is a class action. Plaintiffs bring this action as a class action pursuant to Rule 23 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure on behalf of all persons who purchased or otherwise acquired the publicly traded common stock. So they're being sued. This is a class action. Like, who has money in this? You're part of it, I guess. Excluded from the class are defendants and their families, directors and officers of United Health and their families and affiliates. The members of the class are so numerous that gender of the members is impractical. Wow. The disposition of their claims in a class action will provide substantial benefits to the parties and the court. As of January 31st, 2024, United Health had over 921 million shares of common stock outstanding, owed by hundreds or thousands of investors. There is a well-defined community of interest in the questions of law and fact involved in this case. Questions of law and fact common to the members of the class, which predominant over questions which may affect individual class members include whether defendants violated the Exchange Act, whether defendants omitted and or misrepresented material facts, whether defendants' statements omitted material facts necessary in order to make the statements made in light of the circumstances under which they were made not misleading. Damn. Shit. And then in where's this other letter? Oh, here we go. May 16th, 2024. Dear Mr. Thompson, I write requesting information on United Healthcare's plans for complying with guidance related to health plan coverage of contraception, and that was, when was this? January 22nd, 2024. Oh boy. Oh boy. Adopting the Tri-Department's recommended approach on coverage of contraception is vital to ensuring that millions of women, ooh boy, yeah, you guys need to go check this out. you guys can go check this out. Shit. Wow. $5.49 per share. It lost $29 per share today. Did it really? Fucking A, man. You guys can see this is a letter if you want to go find it. I'll post all the pages on my community page. You guys can just reading. So You guys can read it from there. I want to save some of my voice. Yeah, welcome if you're new here. Truth and transparency. Appreciate you guys. The gun used was interesting. Who else uses those guns? Yeah, it's definitely been put out there. I think multiple people dressed up and were wearing all black. I mean, the same outfit. I think the backpacks were different, probably slightly. I think the backpack got bigger and larger in between, but that's kind of what we caught. Bella was big on that. She's like, look at the backpack. There's hardly anything in it coming out of the stairs from the stairwell. And we determined, we believe that if someone was at the Hilton at 5:41 a.m., that this is not the person that was at the coming up out of the stairwell at 57th at 6:15 a.m. And so, yeah, we believe that there's multiple people that were wearing multiple, like what you see there. And that's why there's going to be all these sightings. And that's why I think the cops are like, what the fuck? And I think what's crazy about that is the judge in the case that oversaw this in 2022 with them, that he was the surveillance. He was in charge of the surveillance for foreign United States foreign surveillance. He's a foreign surveillance judge. You guys I can't make this shit up, man. It's crazy. We'll take another look at, I think it took them a minute to get a bus to Brian, as you guys saw. So let's see what else we have here to close it out. But yeah, I'll post a bunch of this stuff. If you guys go to the community page of the channel, I post pictures and stuff. So I'll post this up. You guys can zoom in and you guys can read. Let's see what's being reported. I know that one of the hostel roommates was talking. So oh yeah, here, I want to hear this.
For starters, this is the second day where we don't know where this suspect is. We don't know who this suspect is at this point. And some of the latest video that we're seeing, some of it you just alluded to there, shows the shooter, the latest in the day that we see the shooter after the shooting, which is only about 15 minutes or so after the shooting, seen on the Upper West Side here. But for perspective, that's about 30 blocks from where I'm standing. And with a route that could take you through Central Park, which of course, as we know, is where law enforcement searched, and of course, where he is seen on camera exiting. All of this as the New York Police Department is putting out new images tied to this investigation that they believe the public can help.
New images tonight of what the NYPD is calling a person of interest wanted for...
I want the guy that... Where's the interview? There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Omar, thank you very much. Out front now, Mateos Toronto. He was staying in the same hostel on the same floor where police believe the suspected shooter stayed. And Mateos, I really appreciate your time. I mean, what a bizarre situation you find yourself in. I know you're visiting from Brazil. You've been staying in the hostel. You've met some people there. Can we just start with some of the photos you took on the fourth floor of the hostel where you were staying, where where police say he was staying? Can you tell us anything about that? What it's like in there? What those halls look like?
All right. So the hostel is actually really crowded. There are a lot of people there, so they divide like rooms to, I think, 4 to 10 people. But in the
4 to
hallway,
10 people in one room.
Yeah, 4 to 10 or 12. 4 to 12, yeah.
You guys know we'd be
So the
fucking.
hallway is just simple. It's just the doors that goes to the rooms, the shared rooms. That's it. That's pretty simple. How the hallways look.
So it would seem from what you're saying that if he was staying on that floor, as they believe he was, that he would have had other people in the room.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so now you've been staying there for about a week.
Yeah.
And you're talking about these rooms that you got 4 to 12 people in a room.
Yeah.
So from what you're saying, he would have had other people in the room.
Yeah.
How hard would it have been to, as you see it, to even do something like to have a gun in there or something like that?
What?
I mean, it would be that hard. Like if you put on like his luggage or something, because there's no metal detector. There's nothing like that. So I think just go inside, and it will be all good. Like.
So he could have had something like that. In
yeah.
terms of seeing him, do you recall seeing, now you've seen his picture out there and you talk about the hostel being so crowded. Do you recall seeing anybody that looked like him?
Yeah, I didn't recall anyone looking like that. And people are saying that he always using the mask. So even if I saw him, I wouldn't recognize him because he was always wearing the mask.
Right. And obviously, as you were there those few days,
He said a week.
You talk about the situation. There's no security. There's no, and lots of people coming and going.
There's like basic security there. Yeah, there's a security like you can't go inside without a card, so we have to check in to go inside. But like gun control doesn't have any. So yeah.
Wait, what was that? There's no card. You have to just what? Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
Have to check in to go inside. Basic security there. Yeah, there's a security like you can't go inside without a card, so we have to check in to go inside. But like gun control doesn't have any. So yeah, that kind of security is.
Wait.
Have a gun. Seeing him, do you recall seeing? Now you've seen.
No, he doesn't.
I didn't recall anyone looking like that, and people are saying that he always using the mask. So even if I saw him, I wouldn't recognize him because he was always wearing the mask.
Right. And obviously, as you were there those few days,
Yeah.
you talk about the situation. There's no security. There's no, lots of people coming and going.
There's like basic security there. Yeah, there's a.
What does basic security mean? What's basic security?
Security like you can't go inside without a card, so we have to check in to go inside. But
so without a card, you can go inside with a card though. Horrible interview.
Like gun control doesn't have any. So yeah, that kind of security is none.
Right. And in terms, just out of curiosity, but when you pay, you can pay credit, cash.
Yeah.
In terms of
Whatever.
Any way you want to pay.
Yeah.
Can you pay daily?
Well, I mean, it is.
Can you just pay daily?
It's really fascinating, but also important, as you say, that he would have.
What a great fucking horrible conversation. How fucking horrible. Just pathetic. I can't even believe I'm watching that. Oh, Lord, save us. Absolutely ridiculous. What a waste. Not the guy. I mean, horrible questions. You can pay with some sex up in there. I mean, what'd you guys learn from that interview? Absolutely dick. That's what I learned. Can I pay by the hour, baby? Let's see what we got. Well, no wonder why he didn't make it. What the hell are they doing?
Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health's insurance unit, was fatally shot in the chest on Wednesday outside a hotel in New York. Police said the shooting happened in front of the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan, and Thompson was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital.
In Midtown Manhattan early this morning, 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, was shot and killed in what appears at this early stage of our investigation to be a brazen, targeted attack. This does not appear to be a random act of violence. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target.
Police were still searching for the suspect, who fled on foot wearing a black face mask and a gray backpack. United Health Group was hosting a scheduled investor event at the hotel on Wednesday. But Chief Executive Andrew Whitty took the stage about 1 hour after its start to announce it was canceling the remainder of the program.
Wait,
Thompson
what?
was named CEO of United Healthcare's insurance unit in April 2021.
Wait a second. What? This 8 hours? What did they do for 8 hours? This is just nonstop, like on replay? 8 hours worth? This is, oh my God. I think it's just replaying. Maybe they just keep adding stuff to it. Wait, he canceled it after 1 hour? Look at this guy in the beginning.
I ride the subways every day. I don't feel safe at all. I don't feel safe in where I take the train. Nowhere.
So we have to watch this again. Look at this. Count how many seconds this takes. Oh. Hit that. Hit this cone. Yep. Okay. Solid.
Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health's insurance unit, was fatally shot in the chest on Wednesday outside a hotel in New York. Police said the shooting happened in front of the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan, and Thompson was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital.
In Midtown Manhattan early this morning, 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, was shot and killed in what appears at this early stage of our investigation to be a brazen, targeted attack. This does not appear to be a random act of violence. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target.
Police were still searching for the suspect, who fled on foot wearing a black face mask and a gray backpack. United Health Group was hosting a scheduled investor event at the hotel on Wednesday. But Chief Executive Andrew Whitty took the stage about 1 hour after its start to announce it was canceling the remainder of the program.
So he's saying that this went on from 8 to 9, and then he decided to cancel it at 9 o'clock.
Thompson was named CEO of United Healthcare's insurance unit in April 2021, after working at the company since 2004 in several departments. According to the company's website, United Healthcare did not respond to a request for comment.
You guys, what are all those cops just standing there for? listen to this. My God, you guys, look at that. That's the blood. What is that? That's not where he was. What the hell is this? Is that how far he ended up getting? Damn. That kinda scared me. Gotta turn this down. I need to watch this all night.
I hear the 3 shots. I was parking down there in the car. I hear 3 shots.
There we go.
Yeah, and then when I looked, there's a man down. Yeah. Yeah, and then the guy crossed and then he ran. He's a white male, all in black, with a backpack. He crossed this way. That ought to see. And then I called 911. But yeah, maybe someone else already called. But the guy, he was here in this corner the whole night.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who was on the corner?
The guy who shot the guy.
Thank you.
Was standing across the street?
He's standing here, this corner.
Security officer.
Oh my God, you guys see that? I'm telling you, did you hear him? He said he was there all night, the whole night. I'm telling you guys, this is all a bunch of shit that is being talked about. Mainstream media can eat dick. Okay? Yeah, you heard. God.
The driver told me he was hanging around whole night waiting for the guy, the shooter, and he just inside the car waiting for him. Soon he see him, he just shot him. That's what I know.
That's got to be pretty shocking. I mean, to have that happen.
Yes, very shocked. It's never been. I'm here 20 years. I never see like this thing.
But you hear that the shooter was actually waiting for him.
Yeah, that's the driver told me. The driver was waiting outside whole night. He's for his passenger. So he told me this guy was here outside all night.
I mean, how is this being suppressed? You guys, how is this being suppressed? The guy was waiting in the car all night, meaning like the black guy. Okay, he's waiting in the car all night, not the guy, not the shooter. Okay. So what's up, Hot Ham? Where you been?
All I know is what I see now.
All I know
can
is
you
what-
believe this time? I mean, right
what
here
I
in this
see now.
neighborhood, someone gets shot.
Yeah, this is new.
This is new.
I've been in this building for a long time. Never seen it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really kind of crazy, isn't it? You wouldn't
Yeah.
expect that in this
No.
outside a hotel, would you?
No, not at all.
Why is he so close to his face like that? Like, you're gonna sit here and tell me Buddy was supposed to like be meeting up with people. Hey, where are you? Hello, did you oversleep? Like, hello, where are you? There better be mass texts like asking Brian where he is. Is that the woman? Wild.
Does that shock you that this would happen in this neighborhood right outside the hotel?
No. No. No, not at all. I probably expect even worse.
Oh my God.
I mean, this neighbor was always a safe neighbor, but it's out of control now. It really was. The whole city is anyway. That's my opinion.
But it's still got to be. I mean, to know someone was shot right outside the hotel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's, I mean, you know,
I think
you
the
want to
wife's
feel safe
innocent
around
as fuck.
where you work. You want to feel safe on the subway. But to tell you the truth, right now in New York, I ride the subways every day. I don't feel safe at all. I don't feel safe in where I take the train. Nowhere.
I love it. Look at this guy. God. Someone get him a new job. Boom.
Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health's insurance.
Advancing our at-home clinical care members to support them in addressing the key needs and social support issues, preventative medical care, identifying and addressing social determinants of health, for referrals to available resources for anything from food to housing. We're also extending in-home primary care and evolving home-based medical care to appointments. That's a 25-fold increase compared to pre-pandemic levels. For those who need ongoing support at home for complex conditions, we can integrate digital tools. Those with more significant health needs, our at-home model uses all of our tools to has changed the way we think about where and how many things are delivered. And that includes healthcare. The key to enabling a better consumer experience is to bring together all of the disparate single point solutions and deliver a holistic, simpler experience in a way that ultimately improves people's health. I hope what I've shared with you today gives you a tiny glimpse into what is possible and how we view consumerism within United Healthcare. Thank you for your time and attention.
Jeez. Zoom in. No.
Then when I looked this man down, yeah.
Man down.
Yeah, and then the guy crossed and then he ran. He's a white male, all in black, with a backpack. He crossed this way. That ought to see. And then I called 911. But yeah, maybe someone else already called. But the guy, he was here in this corner the whole night. Yeah.
Who was on the corner?
The guy who shot the guy.
Was standing across the street?
He's standing here at this corner.
He needed him to get away from the media. Okay, so where he's talking to him right here, that's where he said he ran through. Are you recording that? Like, look at these cops. Are they even recording this?
Security officer, he knows.
He's like, sir, get your camera out of here. Well, if you're not going to record it, sir, somebody has to. The fuck? Anyways, that's crazy, man. But yes, we're going to wrap this up right around 1 hour, 30 minutes. Brian Thompson network is 43 million. And then UHC denies 1/3 of their claims. It's a million. Wonders someone hasn't done this earlier. Yeah. So go back. I will post some of these stuff on my community page. But these lawsuits, guys, I'll see if I can get the links posted up for you guys too. These lawsuits are insane. And yeah, this is going to expose, and it should. And let's hope that mainstream media starts talking about the stuff that really needs to get talked about, which is our healthcare. And that, Brian Thompson wasn't, yeah, I'll just stop there. But you guys can go watch this. It's 8 hours if you guys are bored, stay up watching. Yep, straight up message from the world. Yeah, sad. Lana, please find out about the woman in the front of the hotel during the shooting. Did she do any interviews? I mean, we can stalk her. Trying to think. Oh yeah, in the morning I'll go over some camera. Like I have all the dot cameras for where they're all located. And it's interesting because they're supposed to be facing certain ways, and it seems like they're facing the opposite way. But anyways, can you put a link up to your website? Oh, I don't have a website. It's just all right here. My community page is, if you go click on my channel, it'll say the different tabs underneath it, like playlist or shorts, or go to the right. It says community page. Click on that, and you can see all the posts that I've made. And then I post photos in there. So I'll put this letter in there and stuff like that. So. Yeah, the lady was just smoking out there, and then whoop, woo. Yep, you're welcome. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys popping in. But there's a lot of and there's a lot of people dressed like this man in those clothes. And they want to tell us it was just one man acting alone. I'm going to tell you to suck my tits. I don't buy any of that shit. So, but you can go ahead and peddle whatever you want. Push it around town. We ain't buying over here. So hope you guys aren't buying that either. Okay. This is not one person. Get the hell out of here. But thank you guys. And then as always, if you come across something and you think you guys can always email the mindchallenge@gmail.com. There you go. But yeah, anybody that's going around saying this is a one-man band here, they're damn full. They're just straight full of shit, and it's Christmas time. We don't need to be lying to the American people. This person's long gone. I think your best way out would have been a vehicle. So I don't think that they ever got on a plane. Stupidest thing you could ever do. But I don't think this person's going to get caught. I think even if they got a hit on some DNA, it's going to sit there. It's going to sit there. So, oh, thank you there. BLK Warrior Spirit. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, private jet chartered privately. Yeah, maybe out of like a smaller, tiny little airport. But why? You wouldn't need to. The safest place you could be is in a car. Your driver that you know of in a car, and you just chill out of town. But that's the safest place, driving up out of town. So you needed intelligence to pull this off, to be able to know that where Brian was staying and stuff like that. So, all right, guys, we'll see you on the flip side. Come on tomorrow morning if you want to see. I'll put up these cameras, let you guys see where all these dot cams were located and what type of camera surveillance you're dealing with as far as those dot cams in NYC. Till next time.